So I spent a ton of money, tens of thousands, to set up my own trust and just basically understand it all. And in this video, I want to share you everything I know so that you don't have to sort of waste the same amount of money just to get a basic understanding. And to be honest, I had to use ChatGPT to really dig into the weeds, and the accountants weren't even able to explain it that clearly to me. But here's a simple way to look at things. So there's a shareholder. Actually, let's start from the bottom. The bottom might be easiest. Well, let's go backwards. So you have a company trust. You want to see this as like a locked safety deposit box where all your assets are held. In this safety deposit box, it holds your shares in other companies, investment properties, IP, cash, whatever it may be. Now, within this safety deposit box, the company trust, it is managed by a trustee. Now, the trustee will be its own company. So it'll be like Andy Trust Pty Ltd. So on paper, this trustee owns or manages the company trust. And he decides where the money goes and how it's managed. It's basically a manager. Now there's a trust deed. This is what the trustee puts together. A trust deed basically says who are the beneficiaries, who are the people that can get money from this safety deposit box, and how much each year. So the trustee is sort of like the manager that handles the company trust. Now the trustee, which is a company on its own, it's a Pty Ltd, is owned by you. So in this case, Andy Mai. So I, Andy Mai, own 100% in shares of the trustee, which is Andy Mai Trust Pty Ltd, which manages and owns the company trust. This is the simplest way I can explain it. Now you might ask, okay, what's the whole point of this? So I asked Gemini, I was like, hey, let's say I have $1 million in my company trust. Why can't someone take that from it, sue me for it? Because technically the company trust is managed by the trustee, which I own. So if I cause $1 million in damages, why can't they take that from my company trust? So that's why I asked AI. So, as it says, no one really owns the $1 million inside the trust. It's sort of owned by all the beneficiaries inside. And the beneficiaries sort of is considered a payout, but the trustee can give it to someone else. So it's like Andy Mai is no longer owning it. Now it's sort of like the Mai family trust, or these sort of trustees that own it. And remember, now there's like a layer or two of degree of separation from Andy Mai as a person, because Andy Mai as a person can own nothing. So this adds some separation, which just makes things legally more difficult. Now, let's say they actually take 100% of my shares, then they own the trustee that owns the company trust. Well, the company trust has to follow the trust deed. So even if they take over, they still must follow the trust deed, and they can't break the trust deed's rules. So that being said is, okay, if I do, even just me as an owner, can I change the trust deed's rules? So here's the answer. When, let's say a creditor, someone takes over my company, they take because let's say I owe them money, they sue me and they take over my trust, can they change the trust deed? And the answer is no, they can't. Because the trust is sort of working in the best interest of the beneficiaries. Now, if that's the case, how can I change the trust deed as the actual owner of the trust? One, you have to read the original trust deed to see how things can be changed. Now, I guess the next question is, okay, why can't the creditors do the exact same thing. So here's the answer. Right now, with this setup, Andy Mai is the boss. He's the appointer. So I'm the person who's authorized to make changes in the trust. Whereas if the creditor took over, they would now own and be the trustee, but the trustee is still below the appointer. So you can see how this adds a bunch of layers of complexities that even if you get sued and they go for your trustee to get access to your trust, with the trust deed set up, the beneficiary, it makes it very, very messy and difficult for them to really get access to things inside your deposit safety box. So yeah, that's a clear understanding on how trust works. It was really, really confusing to me. So hopefully this breakdown makes it dead simple for you to understand. Peace.